Hey there, good looking. Join me in this shoulder mobility and stretch session. Listen, we're going to work on opening up the shoulders through the shoulder joint itself, as well as your T-spine, your thoracic spine, and then getting into the neck a little bit. No equipment is required unless you're on a hard surface, then you may want a mat. And we're also going to be seated for some of the stretches. So if that is bothersome for the hips or the knees, perhaps something to prop the hips up like a pillow or even seated in a chair. Now, if you're doing this in real time, this is also day 25 of the Unstoppable Challenge, Volume 2. This is our recovery day, gang. So let's go get started. All right, let's work on getting some movement into the shoulders, starting with the arms down by your side. Bring them up, leading with the thumb behind the body, pressing them rear, and then go up and over. Let's do that again. Bring them up, leading with the thumbs, press them rear, up and over. Good, a little faster. Core is tight, not moving through the body, just trying to move through the shoulder joint. Up and over. Last time. Up, back, up and over. Arms in front, palms up, lead with the thumbs, come behind the body, and then palms down and round. Backs of the hands touching themselves. Open, round. Breathe with it. Trying to open the chest. Now open the upper back. Moving through that shoulder joint. Externally rotating, internally rotating. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach up over, up and over. Getting a nice little stretch to the side body. 4 more. Softness in the knees, hip hinge, hands under the chest, open. Follow your hand with your gaze. You're not quite parallel to the ground with the body. Last 4. 1 more each side. And down onto your left side. Bring the knees in, stack the hands on top of each other. If you find that it's hard on your neck to drop the head, you can throw a yoga block or a pillow underneath the head. But take this top hand and create a rainbow going over the head until you line up with the other side shoulder and then circle back. Do again. Knees are stacked in front of the body. So we're isolating just your thoracic spine and shoulder here. By bringing the knees forward, we're keeping the low back out of the equation. 1 more. Hands stacked. Now let's take that top arm and open it all the way, if we're able to. Back of the hand touches the ground behind us, back to center. Knees are still staying stacked in front of the body. And then if you're able to, you're going to follow your hand with your gaze. Let's just breathe with the movement here. Inhale as we lift. Exhale as we come back together. 2 more. Now on this one here, let's lift. Open and hold. If you want a bit more, you can take this other hand and grab onto the top of the knees, the outside of that top knee, and hold. As best you can, turn your head so that you can gaze at those fingertips. That arm is lined up with the shoulder. We're trying to get the entire arm resting on your ground. That might not be possible. So if you have a pillow or something to place under the arm to build your ground up, it might feel more comfortable for you. Two more breaths. And if you have your hand on top of that leg, I want you to extend it back so it's lined up with the shoulder. And let's just finish by lifting that arm up and closing the hands. Excellent. Let's do the other side. So our setup, knees are in front and stacked. Bottom arm is lined up with the shoulder, palm up, hands are stacked. Let's start with that half circle, what I call a rainbow arm, creating that rainbow, circling it all the way, rotating, following your hand with your gaze. Maybe you have a pillow under the head. Maybe you're taking your rotations a little gentler. Let's do one more. Hands stacked. Open that hand. Follow your hand with the gaze. Can you get that arm to touch the ground behind you? Keep the legs close to the center of the body. Knees stacked. Now let's coordinate that breath. Inhale and lift. Exhale. Bring the hands back together. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Last one. Let's hold that arm back there. Turn your gaze towards those fingertips. And if you'd like, you can take the other hand, grab onto the outside of the knee, maybe draw the knees in a little closer, and trying to walk the shoulders under a bit more. Of course, if you shouldn't be twisting too much, you'll just take this at a limited range. If you're holding onto the legs, release them. Bring that arm back to where it was, palm up, lined up with the shoulders. And let's bring that arm behind us back, stacked on top of the other one. Good job. Onto your stomach. Think of your arms as a clock hands. And I really want you to walk the hands forward. And we're starting at 12 o'clock. We're just going to keep the lower body quiet. Now from this position, I want you to bring your left arm in, and you're going to just kind of walk it in, and then walk it up to 12 o'clock. Good. Walk it back. Walk it to 11. So you're going to go through all of those, and as we get to that top part, really walk forward, emphasizing range of motion. Good. 10 o'clock. You're just crawling the fingers, getting range of motion in all of the different planes this shoulder works in. 9 o'clock. We go down as well. 8 o'clock. 7. And then right down the body, we'll call that 6 o'clock. And then let's just walk it back up. Just the same way we got down there, hitting each hand on our clock. Emphasizing that end range, really trying to walk that hand away from the body. Here's our 9 o'clock. Let's find 10. Once you've seen me, let's just get the chin in, staring down at the mat. 11. And walk it up, reach it for that 12 o'clock. Other hand, let's go, bring it down and curl it or walk it back up to 12 again. Good. And then 2, 1. Back. It's a great way to keep movement in the shoulder. And 3. And if you have limited movement in the shoulder, you'll find this really beneficial. And if you're finding this really no problem, that's great. These type of movements will keep your shoulder moving. Now, once you got down to your body at 6 o'clock, let's go back up. And then go back down. 5, 4, Go to that 3 o'clock. And 2. And 1. And then let's reach it up to that 12 with the other hand. And then walk them forward a bit more. Let's just give a final big stretch at that 12 o'clock. Fingertips are gripping into the mat. Almost like you're trying to pull yourself up. And release. Bring the arms to your side. Right arm extended. Left arm quite close to the body. Roll onto that right arm. And we're going to lift that left leg. And just let the foot hit the ground while we roll onto that back arm. You can let the head drop if you like. If you're finding it too much for the hip, because this is really an upper body stretch, you can just let the leg go. But I do find it's kind of nice to get more muscles involved when we're doing mobility and stretches. As we push off of this left hand, we're going to roll onto that back arm, creating a deeper stretch, more sensation into that right shoulder and pec area. So this will fix if you've ever been told that you have rounded shoulder syndrome, or if you've caught yourself with rounded shoulders just because your posture is starting to go a bit and you're not really focused on it. Quite often it's because that these muscles in the front of the body are tight. So not only do we need to strengthen our posture muscles, but we also have to take a look at the other side of the body and lengthen that area. 2 more breaths. And back to center. Now let's extend that left arm, right hand just in front of the armpit. Roll onto that left side now. If you'd like, bring that leg with you, right foot to the ground, and really push into your ground with that right hand to roll more onto the left. See if you can push back a bit more. A couple more breaths here. And back to center. Pressing back into child's pose. You can take it wide-kneed or knees together, whatever feels best for you. But we're focusing here on walking the hands forward, lengthening into side body, reaching those hands right up. Forehead to mat if you're able to. Really drop the chest to our ground here. Think about extension in that mid-back area. So we're reaching with the hands, chest is dropping, bum is pushing back. Back to center. Sitting cross-legged, and this is where if you've got a pillow or something to prop under your hips, it might feel more comfortable for you, or even do this seated on a chair. Just grab onto your shoulder and then grab onto the elbow and then just press the elbow in towards you, letting this hand come behind the shoulder, sitting nice and tall, creating a stretch in the back of the shoulder. Now we're going to take this same arm and bring it behind the back, fingertips pointed up. So I'll turn so you can see my hand. And we're just going to hold there. And if you're able to walk the hand up some more, go for it. Two more breaths. And let's slowly release. Let's take the other hand, place it on the opposite shoulder, other hand on the elbow, and just walk the hand behind the shoulder as we press in with that hand. Take this hand behind the back, fingertips pointed up, and walk it up as best you can and hold. And most likely, each arm will be quite different sensations. A more dominant side could be a bit tighter. You might not be able to have the movement that you did on the other side. You might feel differently. It's fine. You just remember the stretch and come back to it to help out that area. Two more breaths. And release. Take the arms up above the head for me. Rotate, drop the arms down, and hold. If you shouldn't be doing big twists, you'll just take a little bit, just a subtle twist. Otherwise, you're going to really try to twist, look behind that back shoulder. And let's bring the arms back overhead as we do. We rotate back to center. Other side. One more each side. Sitting nice and tall on those sit bones. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. To center, ear to shoulder, chin is centered. Nice gentle neck stretch. If you want to enhance it, you can walk this hand away from the body a bit, creating more of a stretch here. And then we can also take that hand and just give a gentle pull. Be careful with the neck. To center, other side. Start with ear to shoulder, and then from there, walk the arm away. And then if you want a bit more, gently pull the ear to the shoulder. To center. Let's get it kneeling again. Toes together, knees are open. Interlace the hands behind the back for me. Lift them away from the body. And then from here, lower your forehead down to the ground while you lift the arms up and hold. Using your core, lift yourself up. That one's intense, eh? Shake it out. Finish off with that child's pose. You can have the arms in front or down by your side. Forehead to mat. Couple breaths here. Press yourself up. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope your shoulders enjoyed that. If mobility in the shoulder joint is an important goal for you, I recommend coming back to this video. It can be done daily, but at the very least, a couple of times a week. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you next workout. Bye.